Hey everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Rising for June 2019. I do hope that this video finds you all well. I know you've been having quite a bit of a rough patch since I've started doing these tarot readings, so I do hope that things are turning around for you. I kind of remember there was a light at the end of the tunnel in the last reading. It looked like you were kind of getting into a better time, so hopefully we'll see that in this reading, or we will see what we can do to get there. But before we begin, I do just want to quickly announce that I am going to start doing giveaways on this channel after we hit certain subscriber counts. I think it's just a really nice way of expressing my gratitude for all of you. It's just an absolute gift to share these messages, and your likes, shares, and subscribes really helps this channel grow and thrive. And once we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to give the winner, or winners, I haven't really decided yet, a choice between a personal reading or a distance Reiki session. Now, I do also want to say that I think one of the most amazing parts about doing these videos and putting out this content is actually the comments that people have been leaving, because it's not even, I can't respond to all of them. There's so many, especially on some of the other videos. I do look at them, and I just see people opening up and sharing their experiences, and then you have people commenting on that and saying that they're relating or offering advice or just offering support to these people. And it's just amazing, because it shows me that people really are going through these difficulties, these challenges we're all going through them together. We're going through them in cycles, in waves, and we really aren't alone, even if we feel like we're alone. So that's just, it's beautiful to see that interconnection here on this channel with this tarot community. So thanks to all of you who are opening up and sharing your experiences. That's really beautiful, and it's really amazing to witness. So thank you. But yes, definitely hit subscribe if you haven't already. And also follow me on my other social media. I do have a Facebook and an Instagram where I post pick a card readings and random cards for the collective. That way you will also make sure that you don't miss out on that giveaway. So yeah, before we dive in, I do just want to disclaim that this is a general reading, meaning not all the messages are going to be meant for you. Some of them may be for someone else, so it's important to use your discretion to figure out what applies to you and what you should leave behind. Some of the energy may also come in the reverse. There may be a third party in the situation who is actually your own energy, and that's kind of what you're embodying, so you kind of have to figure that out. If something isn't quite falling into place, it may actually be you, or it may be the other person. And don't get caught up on the gender of the cards or even the astrological information about the cards. Sometimes it's just the most concise way energy can be transmitted or communicated, and this energy is also fluid, so it's not going to be literal by any means, especially in a general reading. And I think that is pretty much everything. We have some pretty heavy cards that actually fell out for you. I'm not surprised. Again, things have been heavy, so I think this is more referring to the past, just kind of what you've been going through so far. We do have 3 major arcana, actually. We have the Lovers in reverse here, Death in reverse, and the Star. So right away, this tells me that a lot of you are dealing with a breakup, or a loss of a connection, you know, with this Lovers here and the Death card here, and even the Star card here. This is kind of a soulmate card to me sometimes. It's definitely trying to get your wish to come true. It's like this loss of this connection didn't just devastate you because you lost a person. It's like you lost hope with this Star in reverse. This is really, really heavy. This was very weighted for you, and you are resisting this change. You're having a very hard time moving past this, getting over it. There may even be some sort of obsessiveness or stagnancy that you're just resisting this change in some way. And that's interesting for Scorpio, because I feel like Scorpio is usually pretty good about letting things go. But I think it's more than just a person or a connection with someone, it's what that connection represented to you. It's like the loss of this hope, this loss of this wish. It's like you feel like your wish is never going to be granted. And, you know, I don't know, maybe it was unrealistic, maybe it's not grounded in reality. I think we're going to have a better idea of what this is all about in the actual reading. But these are just the cards that came out for you as I was tuning into your energy. And these are big cards. Some of you may be dealing with a Gemini with this Lovers card here, or an Aquarius, or even another Scorpio. There's definitely other people involved. There's other people in your energy right now. They're kind of showing up in this reading, and it's preventing you from moving forward in some way, which is very hard hitting. We do have... I think for you, it's going to be really important that you are working with these astrological cycles that are coming up for June. We do have the new moon in Gemini on June 3rd. This is actually a really good opportunity to see parts of yourself that you don't ordinarily see, to meet new aspects of yourself, and to meet new people, actually, too. But whenever I think of Gemini, I think it's not just the twins. Gemini is actually many personalities in one. And in its highest form, Gemini is showing us that we are multifaceted beings, that we are complex, we have many different faces to our personalities, and it's a good time to get to know new parts of you, even do shadow work, even explore your subconscious and see the parts of you that you've repressed. Trying new things just for the sake of the enjoyment that it brings you. That's so Gemini energy, and that's actually going to bring you a lot of happiness and a lot of growth. It's actually one of the most spiritually aligned things you can do sometime. I do also feel like there is this possibility of meeting someone new, or shaking up your relationships or your romance sector of your life with this sextile that is happening. I'm sorry, a trine that is happening between Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is your ruling planet, and Venus in Taurus, which is, you know, the native planet of Taurus. So we have a lot of really strong energy here, especially for you guys. I think there really is going to be an opening up, really breaking open, rather, not so much opening up, but in a good way. You're going to be broken open in the best possible way. That's going to, I think, be true for the whole collective, but especially for you guys being ruled by Pluto. There's definitely some shakeups regarding love, and it actually feels pretty positive with that trine. But of course, it could also be accompanied with lots of emotions. If you're feeling all of these emotions coming up, that could be your subconscious trying to integrate these wounds so you can actually be a match to this love that is coming in. It does feel like unexpected love. This person may be outside of your normal type. So just be open-minded. Have fun. You know, it's all about fun. And I think it's going to be really wonderful. We do also have the Sagittarius full moon on June 17th, so if you're having a hard time manifesting still, at that point it's a good time to release whatever is blocking you. Sagittarius is also a really good sign for a full moon, because Sagittarius is all about liberating oneself, freeing oneself. That could be by traveling, breaking up the day-to-day routine, breaking up the monotony of life. It's also through seeking higher education or higher wisdom, you know, really going beyond this paradigm that we're told that this is all there is, and really looking beyond that. It's a good time to challenge your own beliefs as well, to let go of self-limiting beliefs. And I feel like for those of you who are really struggling with this love connection, that's going to be a good time to let go. Or at least to heal from it. It seems like there's just something you're having such a hard time letting go of. This could also be some sort of situation that was once very important to you that you had to let go of as well. Could be multiple things, honestly, because there's so much major arcana. This actually feels very pervasive. It feels like you've left your entire life behind and you don't know what to do next, because everything you loved is like, it's different or it's changed, and you really don't know where to go from here. I do feel like a lot of you are blocking yourself with this death in reverse as well. We're also going to be having Neptune going retrograde right on the day the sun enters Cancer, right on the first day of Cancer season, which is going to be a really heightened time of intuition for a lot of us. When Neptune goes retrograde, that kind of sneaky, malefic influence that Neptune can have over our lives, it wanes quite a bit. And sometimes this comes in the form of rude awakenings. I'm just preparing you. This can be you figuring out that someone was manipulating you, or someone may have been lying to you behind your back, or that maybe you've been casting illusions on yourself. You've been deluding yourself, and even though that's hard and it's painful, during that Neptune retrograde, it's very hard to succumb to that again. So it is kind of a wake-up call. And some of you may be having that. I don't really feel like Scorpio is going to be too affected by that because y'all have been going through it so much anyway. But I actually think it's going to be a good time for you to see how you have been sabotaging yourself, how you have been lying to yourself, or just the way you've been limiting yourself. It's going to really open up a powerful window for all of you. And I think that's going to be very helpful. I know a lot of the signs are also looking forward to the future with all of these retrograde planets. This is the fourth outer planet that's going retrograde. I feel like that's going to have a few effects. One of that is going to be kind of the slowing down of time. It feels like 2019 has just flown by, and especially compared to 2018. But I do feel like things are going to slow down, especially when we are kind of turning into July. There is going to be a Mercury retrograde. Again, that's more for the next month's video, but it's going to really slow things down even more. It's going to be kind of a time to really assess things and to catch our breath, because this has been kind of a crazy year. But I do feel like it's just going to be a good window of time for you to kind of release yourself and to actually let this go, to let something go, to let go of this lack of faith, this lack of hope, and this heartache, this disappointment, this real big pain, this falling apart. My goodness, we are already 12 minutes into the video and we haven't even begun the actual reading. So I think I'm just going to stop that there. We're actually going to see what is happening for you guys. I do feel like a lot of what I was talking about, that is coming from the distant past. That doesn't feel like it happened just in May, but that could be different for some of you. But that feels like kind of themes that you've been dealing with for a long time that are now... they're now coming back to the surface for June. You may have thought you were over something, but you might realize you really haven't been. Very interesting. Okay, so kind of coming into June, this is more so about May, but this could potentially be further back as well for some of you, because again, this feels like this has been a long-standing cycle with all these major arcana going back. I feel like there is quite some history here. We do have the Two of Wands in the reverse, Queen of Cups in the reverse, and the King of Cups. Some of you may definitely be communicating with another water sign, so that could be a Cancer, Pisces, or another Scorpio. But it does feel like there's this emotional blockage. You're blocked off to this person. And I do feel like you are going to be communicating with someone who is either a water sign or very emotionally mature or very wise. You might be getting some sort of wisdom or insight for them, because right now, you know, in May, you weren't really sure where everything was going in your life. You were kind of looking forward, you were looking into the future and not really sure what to do next with this Two of Wands in reverse. And this actually feels very much like your day-to-day life. There could have been some sort of delays or breakdowns, kind of this loss of power and loss of control over things. I almost feel like there's this hyper-vigilant sense. You know, you're looking out from this tower trying to see what's coming up next, but it doesn't look like there's anything there. But you're so focused on what's next. There's like this fear. I do see with this Queen of Cups kind of in the heart of the past for May, there may have been some emotional manipulation that was going on, and this could have actually been you, but it could have been someone around you. It does feel more Cancerian energy, but again, this could be any water sign or just anyone who's very intuitive or very sensitive. They are very good at reading a situation and reading how you're feeling, but they kind of use that to your detriment or to manipulate you to their own advantage. They're not necessarily concerned about your well-being. And again, this could go either way. You could honestly kind of be doing things a bit subversely. You might be kind of doing things from behind the scenes, trying to manipulate people or trying to get your needs met indirectly. But it does feel like this is more happening to you for a lot of you. And it does feel like, it just feels like emotionally things are still really heavy for you, Scorpio. Things were definitely heavy for you in May, but I don't know if you were necessarily presenting that way, because the way you were talking to people, you were talking like this King of Cups. You were talking like you have everything together, you have your emotions in check, everything is fine, everything's good, that your emotions are stable. I'm calling BS. I don't feel like that's true for a lot of you. I think there is these really deep currents that came up for you, and you're having a very hard time expressing it. But I feel like there is an individual for some of you who is helping you open up. This feels kind of like an older energy, kind of a wiser energy, almost like a mentor. This is someone who is opening you up, or you're opening up too. And I feel like this person may be helpful for you throughout June as well. I am going to draw an animal card now, just to see what their perspective on the situation is, how we can kind of bring things back into balance. We actually have the horse, and this has been coming out for a lot of the videos. Horse is kind of mastering the body and the mind. It's stamina, it's endurance, that's kind of the power word for horse here. And it's very important for you to meditate and for you to exercise. You are being supported right now, even if it doesn't feel like it. Although I do feel like some of you are communicating now with someone who is very supportive for you, especially emotionally. And I do feel like you are moving forward, you are being guided along, but there is still some heaviness that's weighing you down, that's holding you back a little bit here. But I do feel like this is almost kind of like a Cancerian card, interestingly enough. And I did mention Cancer with the Queen of Cups because I think of the Chariot card from the traditional tarot with this horse. You know, it's important that whatever it is that's driving you forward, that it's in balance. You know, we have these two wheels to the chariot. They need to be aligned, and they need to be even, or you're going to topple over. You're going to fall into one direction or the other. You need to make sure that you're going forward in when you are aligned, if that makes sense. But I do feel like for a lot of you, you do need to exercise, you do need to physically take care of your body, and you do also need to meditate. You need to take care of your mind. These are both very important aspects going into June. You really need to build your endurance, build your stamina, which kind of makes me wonder a little bit what is going to be happening for you guys. Or if you're just feeling depleted. We're going to find out, but that is kind of interesting. What are the general messages for Scorpio coming into June? At the start of June, first half of June rather. What are the messages for Scorpio in the first half of June? That was kind of jumpy. Okay. One more. Show me clearly, please. Sometimes I feel like these cards are very sassy. Show me clearly. There we go. Interesting. So, I have the Six of Cups, Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and the Magician in the reverse. I do feel like someone is going to be trying to make amends with you, or you're going to be trying to heal a situation with someone. There may be someone reaching out, you may be reaching out, especially if this is someone from your family or early childhood. It does feel like this is someone who is close to you, or someone who was close to you. This is kind of showing up in the day-to-day, practical, physical part of this read. So it does tell me that there is someone who you're supposed to be working with, who you need to make amends with. Although, I see with the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, kind of at the heart of the reading here, someone is not putting in the work that they need to, and that is making the other person feel like they're exhausted, that they've done all of this labor for nothing. They put so much of themselves in here for nothing. And again, this could be a family member, this could be a lover, but it's definitely someone close to you. It could also even be like a business partner or someone that you work with, but it just seems like something isn't feeling successful. It's feeling like a failure. It's feeling like you've put in all of this effort and you're not reaping the rewards that you should be or that you were expecting. And, you know, someone may on the surface come up and apologize to you, but not make any change. There's no genuine repentance, which is kind of unfortunate, because it seems like there really is a need to heal here. I mean, there's only so much you can do, but I do feel like there really does need to be some sort of resolution here, or maybe this is just someone you need to distance yourself from. Maybe that's how you're going to make amends with this past. You're going to complete this cycle by cutting off this person. I do have the Magician card here in the reverse. This could be a Gemini or a Virgo, potentially. This is very mercurial energy, so some of you may be dealing with one of those signs. This could be someone from the past. Again, sometimes in that reversal, I do interpret that as someone coming back from the past. And I think you're feeling very blocked. You're feeling very stuck. You don't feel like you can make this work. You know, Magician just can make things work. It can manifest things. And again, I think it is really important for you to work with the astrological cycles, especially the lunar cycle. That's going to be it's going to really enhance a lot of these intentions that you're setting for yourself, this need to heal. And, you know, we were talking about that earlier, you know, right before we actually started drawing cards for your reading. We did have some pretty heavy energy from the past. It felt like you didn't just lose a person, you lost your faith. You lost your dream. And this is something you're trying to heal. This is something you're trying to get back. But there is still work that needs to be done here, and it seems like someone's not putting in the work that they need to. And to be honest, it could be you, but it also feels like there are other people involved as well. I am going to pull another animal card here just to see. If you are dealing with a water sign or a Gemini or a Virgo, I definitely feel like they're the ones not putting in the work. But otherwise, it actually does feel a bit more like your energy. I gotta be honest. That is just what I'm picking up. We do have the Peacock here. This is someone... Okay. This is interesting because when this card comes up, it actually speaks about acceptance of self and acceptance of others where they're at. Peacock can be a very advanced spirit, a very advanced soul, very beautiful. But its beauty doesn't necessarily come from its bright feathers. It comes from within. And it's very much... This card is kind of just letting people be who they are. You kind of just have to let that go. You kind of just have to let something slide here. It's like there's only so much you can do. You fighting them on this is not going to help. No matter what amount of effort you put in, it's not going to do anything. If this person genuinely wants to work things out, I feel like you are willing to work things out, but it's like you're not going to... you're not going to really benefit by trying to change this person. And you kind of just have to accept where they're at, and you have to accept where you're at too. That's also important. Because this is showing up, this is actually kind of an energy you need to embody more than what you're currently doing. That's kind of your advice for this situation. You kind of just have to accept that some people are stunted in some ways, and you just have to work with them. And if you can't work with them, if there's no amount of effort that you can put in that's going to make it work, then it's not going to work. But I think there is just some level of acceptance, and maybe that's where the healing is going to come for you. Maybe it's not trying to make amends anymore. It's just like, well, this is just our relationship. This is just how things are between us. I would love to change it, but I don't know how. And that's all you really have to do about that. But it does feel like there is just this blockage for you again. It does feel like you're having a hard time making something come true for you. I am curious to see where all of this is leading. We're going to kind of look at the second half of June now. This could also be going out into July or even beyond. This is just sort of the current trajectory for everything, which can be shifted, it can be changed. But this is kind of just where things are currently going. Where is this all leading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Awesome. Okay. I like that. Where is this all going? Interesting. One more. Where is this all going for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising? That's too many. Show me clearly. Where is this all going for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for June 2019? There we go. Nope, that's too many. Bottom? Okay. So, we have the Four of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. They came out together. And the Five of Wands in reverse. So I do feel like some of you are definitely walking away from some sort of conflict or tension, especially if that's with a family member or someone very close to you. You are actually bringing healing to the situation by doing that. You are healing yourself. You are finding rest. There is some sort of closure that you're going to be having, or there's just some sort of relief. It might not be like closure in that you resolve everything, but you've decided that you just need to take care of yourself. And that's kind of the best course of action for the situation, is just to rest. It's going to really help you. I do feel like with this Nine of Swords and this Knight of Cups, this is really interesting because there's a lot of messages that are coming from these two cards. This Nine of Swords, it does tell me that you are dealing with some anxiety. You're trying to get the rest that you want, but you are also kind of being kept up at night by these intrusive thoughts. And there may even be some bad dreams or even like night terror, some sort of sleep disturbance with this. And it does feel like your anxiety is quite high, or your emotions are a bit dysregulated here. But I do feel like with this Knight of Cups, there is healing that is being brought to the situation. There is a cup that is being brought to you. This could also be you bringing this cup to someone else. This could actually be a romantic offer, or some sort of offer for intimacy or connection, someone reaching out. And that may be what helps your anxiety, is doing that, or someone is going to reach out to you. But it's important that you express this. You really do need to let this go. And again, I feel like you are moving away from people, from this childish energy, from this petty energy, whatever it is that has kept you apart from people. It seems like You're either going to leave these people behind, you're going to be removed from the situation in some way, or you're actually going to be brought back to resolve it. And that's going to really depend for some of you. You know, we have mixed messages here with this Knight of Cups and these Nine of Swords. It does feel, it feels circular. That's kind of how I'm visualizing all of this energy. It's like there's a cycle that you have to go through, and some of you are going to be going through the part of the cycle where you have to distance yourself, and some of you have distanced yourself and healed, and now you're coming back to something. So again, that's really going to depend, but that's the overall kind of pattern I'm seeing for you, Scorpio, for June. I am going to pull one more card here. Phoenix. Cosmic Egg. Holy shit. You, this is the root and the crown chakra. You are bringing life to a situation. You are bringing healing to a situation. I feel like there is something from the past that you are ending. You're shedding. You know, there is a new cycle here. There is a completion here. And you are going to be bringing something either back, or you're going to be letting it go. You're going to be burning it away, and you're going to rise from the ashes. So either way, this feels really, really powerful. But there is a big shift that is coming for you. And I feel like you're actually going to initiate it. Wow. That's very surprising, but this is good. I feel like you're ending a very big cycle, and that doesn't mean that it's going to feel easy, that it's going to feel good and positive all the time. There's definitely going to be nights where it's really weighing on you and it's really causing you a lot of angst, but this is all really for your growth. I know that's so cliche to say in a tarot reading, but it's like, this is so true. There's a really big spiritual awakening that's happening for you by the end of June, and that could be coinciding with that Neptune retrograde. So I feel like you're going to be getting a lot of guidance from spirit, from your higher self, and that's going to really help you in whatever situation you're dealing with. You're going to know what to do by the end of the month. You're going to know where you are. I do hope that this was helpful for you, Scorpio. Again, make sure to hit like and subscribe, and you can look at my links in the description box down below if you're interested in a personal reading or a distance Reiki session. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye.